Hi CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a 4 triangle granny square, and we're going to do an invisible join with this as well. So I'm going to teach you how to do all of that. Really fun, really easy, okay? So let me just show you real quick. This is done with all 4-weight yarn, and I use different patterns and colors. This is done with 4-weight yarn again, and I use some fall-like colors for this one. And again, this was 4-weight yarn as well. I just wanted to show you the different colors and stuff that you can do. This was done with a very a sport weight yarn. I used like, I think a 3.75, so you can also do it with smaller yarns as well. And you can also use variegated yarns that go from light to dark or dark to light. That looks really cool. And you can see some of that in my thumbnail as well. Okay, so let's get into the material. For the piece I'm making today, I'm using a 5mm hook. You will also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and yeah, that's about it. Now remember, if you want to make it smaller, or you want to use a smaller yarn, then it's just going to be a smaller square. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. The bigger yarn, the bigger the hook. You know, like I always say, the bigger the project, and vice versa. Let's get into the tutorial. The cool thing about this is I say 4 triangle granny square because it looks like 4 triangles, but the truth is you're only making 2. So really you're using 2 different colors in one triangle, 2 different colors in the other, and then you piece them together with a magic circle. If you don't know how to do any of the stitches in this video, please reference the beginner video I have in the description box below. Okay, so after you make your magic circle, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. And then you're going to do 1 more, but you're not going to close the double crochet. So you're going to start it. You're going to go into the circle, pull up, and go through 2 loops, but leave these last 2 here because we're going to join another color. I'm going to pull it right in to finish this double crochet. Then I'm going to turn my work over. I'm going to take the working yarn, and I'm just going to tie it here in the back to hold it. Just like that. Then I'm going to bring forward this blue piece, and now I'm going to be working over these 2 ends right here. But I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 4 double crochets. We have 4 here, including that first chain of 2, and now we're going to do 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now as you can see, I pulled this blue forward. I'm not working over it, I'm not doing anything with it, I'm just letting it lie. Okay, and so now what you can do is you can tighten up your magic circle. You worked over both of these pieces, so now you can cut these off. If you're not comfortable though, you can work them in, whatever you want to do, but I'm going to cut them off. And then you're going to chain 3, and you're going to turn your work. So this is what it looks like now. Then you're going to, working in between this last double crochet and this one, you're going to work 3 double crochets right in the middle. 1, 2, and 3. So technically you have 4, counting that first chain of 3 that we did. Then we're going to go into this chain 2 space that we made, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, but we're not going to close the 3rd one. We're going to go through the first 2. We're going to drop this blue yarn behind, and then we're going to pull up this dark blue yarn and start with it. So we're going to go right through. We've got our other yarn behind it, And now we're going to start with this color. We're going to chain 2, and in the same chain 2 spot, we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to go right into this space right here in between the last 2 double crochets. You're going to work 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and this little piece is coming out where I cut off, so I'm going to cut that off again, because it will annoy me. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. Now you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and again, in between these 2 double crochets right here, you're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to go into this space right here in between these, and you're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to go into the top of this in between these in the chain 2 space, and you're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. But on this third one, we're not going to finish the double crochet. We're just going to go through the first 2. Okay, then we're going to let this hang right here on the inside, and what I'm doing is I'm letting my yarn fall where I see the other ones have been picked up. So I want to stay on this side of the piece because I can see right there it was picked up right there. So then I'm going to pick this up, go through and finish. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to work right back into this chain space, but I'm going to work over this where I pulled it up so we can't see it so well. And I'm going to go right back into this chain space and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to go into my next space and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to go in this last space in between these last 2 double crochets, and I'm going to work 4 double crochets. So as you can see, these corners here all have 4 double crochets, and that's because we're working around that last double crochet. So 4 double crochets, then you chain 3, and you turn. And you go in between these 2 double crochets and put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you go into your next space and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you go into your next space and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we go to the top where our chain 2 is, and we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, but we're not going to finish this last third double crochet. We're going to let this yarn fall to the front, and we're going to pull the blue up. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2 and work over this space right here where we pulled that up and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then go into our next spot and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And into our next spot and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to go in between those last 2 double crochets and you're going to work 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we need to do this for 5 rows, including these first 2. So the best way to count these is to literally just count your clusters here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we need 1 more row. So we're going to again chain 3, turn your work. In between these 2 double crochets, we're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then into our next spot, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And into our next spot, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then into our next spot, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then right up here at the top of our chain of 2, we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and on the third, we're not going to finish it. We're going to go through the first 2 loops. We're going to let this hang down. We're going to pull up this new color, pull in to finish that double crochet, chain 2, and then do 3 more double crochets. Make sure you move that other one out of the way. You don't want to work over it. And do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you'll keep going and go to your next spot and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then into your next spot, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then into the next spot, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then 4 double crochets in between these last 2 double crochets here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then you're all done with that one side. I want you to just cut off, leave a little bit left on there in case we need to use any of this for sewing. And then we're going to pull through, chain 1, pull through, and tighten off. So now what I want you to do is exactly the same thing with 2 other different colors. So if you need to rewind, you can rewind. Also, if I'm going too fast, you can slow down the video and your options on YouTube, okay? But go ahead and finish another piece just like this, and then I'm going to show you how to do an invisible join to pull these together. Okay, be back in just a second. So we finished our other triangle here, and now I'm going to show you how to piece these together. I did leave these strings on for now in case we're going to need them, and I'll show you about that in just a second. But another thing I wanted to mention when it comes to making these triangles is it is important to keep your tension as even as you can. So when you're making both triangles, try to keep your tension the same. So if for some reason, like I have carpal tunnel really bad, sometimes I have to take a break for a minute, otherwise my tension will be different. And if your tension is different and one side is bigger or smaller or different than the other, then it can affect the way the square looks, okay? But so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an invisible join for these. So you can use any color yarn that you want. I do tend to like to use a color that's corresponding with this though. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these are facing the way that I want them to be. So in other words, this is going the front way that I like right here. And so I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to join this way. And so when I join, it can open up like this, and you've got both of the fronts that you want towards yourself, okay? So I'm just going to get all these little pieces out of the way. We're not going to use those now. That's just in case you need them. And we're going to line this up as best as we can. And that's another thing. Try to use similar yarns. If you use different weight yarns or, you know, things like that, or you have a bulkier 4-weight yarn than another, then that's going to make a difference as well. So just try to use the same yarns too. And then we're going to do this invisible join. So I'm going to take my white yarn and my darning needle, and I'm just going to take about, you know, about a foot or two, whatever you want, feel like you need. but I'm probably doing about 26 inches. We're gonna go right to the top of that first double crochet. So right here at the top of that, you're gonna go through, but you're gonna go through on an angle like this, okay? So you're gonna go through like that. Instead of in like this, you're gonna go through just like this. And then you're gonna find the exact same thing on the other side. Now, because this is a granny square triangle and we're doing the invisible join at the bottom, these stitches are not very clear. So I'm not gonna say this is gonna be easy, but we're just gonna do the best we can, and I think it'll turn out great. Just remember, it does not have to be perfect. Just try to get the basic idea. So again, I'm going over here and I'm going to this last double crochet that we did, and I'm trying to find the same thing that I did over here, and I'm just going to go through it this way for this time, okay? We're just gonna pull through just like that. And then you're gonna leave, you know, a pretty long piece here. We're gonna work that in, okay? And now we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take our needle and we're going to go right over here, and we see these stitches here on top. They don't all look the same, but you can see some stitches. But the main thing I want you to do is work on the edge of this line. That's the whole point of an invisible join, okay? You're working on the edge of the line, going through that way instead of just straight back and forth or using a hook, okay? Or going through a back loop or a front loop. You're going in the middle of these stitches. So whether you can find a stitch or not, just go through the middle like this and it'll turn out okay. I promise, I've tried this, okay? So go through, I'm gonna try to find the stitches that I can, but I'm gonna go through like this to the side, and then I'm gonna pull. And then I'm gonna go over here to my next stitch, and I'm gonna go through the side, and then I'm gonna pull. And then I'm gonna go through this side and go through on the side. So I'm not going down on the bottom of either of my stitches, right on the top, and I'm gonna pull through. And then again, I'm gonna go to this other piece, go through, and pull through. And again, over here, going on the top of my stitches, pulling through. And again, over here. So you just keep doing that all the way down. You're trying to line up your stitches the best you can. Work on the top of them, work to the side, okay? And then we can turn it over. And as you can see, we've got a pretty good invisible decrease. You can see a little bit of the white showing here through the middle. And so, you know, I might want to go back and try to fix that a little bit. What I can do is go back through and go through the edges there, okay? And then we've got this side right here. And as you can see, I think it looks pretty good considering what we were working with, okay? And so then what you want to do is, this one actually turned out really good because I kept my tension the same. I like the way the curves look around. But if for any reason when you get here to the end, if your curves are not the way that you want them to look, what you can do is you can take this piece that you left, put it on your darning needle, and just go through right over here at the side, over here. Leave a piece hanging because, you know, you've got to work it in. And then I'm just going to go like right through the middle here again. And I'm going to go right over here, and I'm just going to pull tight. And then I'm going to go over there and over here and pull tight again. Okay, and that's just to kind of try to bring that back into place there. And as you can see, it caused it to go in a little bit, okay? So that's what you do if you have any trouble with that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please hit that notify me bell below so you can get notified of my future videos. And if you have any questions or comments, please obviously feel free to ask or leave a comment in the YouTube comment section below. But you can also, if you're not comfortable with that, you can find me on Gmail, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all those wonderful places. That's all in the description too. So I'll see you again soon, guys. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.